Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Vose, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, indeedy. Oh, my goodness. We got a good one today. We're going to talk a little bit about aeration, a little bit about fall service, leaf removal. Looking forward to that. And holy shnikes, I tell you what, man, it is awesome day to be alive, and awesome day to be working with the best team in the industry and the best subcontractors in the industry. We got a beautiful, beautiful day going on here, and absolutely, absolutely. So, golly, got one chance, one opportunity. Would you take it, or are you just going to let it slip away? So, anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Got a text here I was looking at. That's why I kind of sound like I got off track just a little bit there for a second. But so anyway, there we go. There we go. So all's looking good. All's looking good. So thank you, Alec. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. All I got to do now is remember when I send it that it's all good. Let's see here. We're going to do that. Yay. Good deal. It is all good. So, yeah, we had Alec, great contractor here, full service contractor, does a whole lot of hardscape work and does irrigation work. Matter of fact, they do all of our irrigation work for us here at WLS. And got out this morning and did a backflow test for us for one of our customers. So appreciate that. And I just reached out to him this morning, man. I said, I know, my lack of planning does not constitute your emergency, but I need a little help, man. And it really wasn't my lack of planning, but it was just a situation where we had a customer that had received a couple notices on a backflow test and didn't forward it to us to get it done till this morning. And now there's few days left before they get into a situation. So long story short, he took care, went out and did it this morning already. So appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Just great to work with great people. That's what it's really all about, and that's what I really, want to talk a little bit about. And I wasn't even going to talk about it, but it's really great to work with great people. And, I'm fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of good people, both internally here at Wayne's Lawn Service and our team members, as well as, the subcontracting network that we have with many subcontractors. So thanks, Alec. If you're listening, I know you listen to us sometime. I appreciate that, my friend. So with that being said, going to move on along. But like I said, the weather is awesome here today. Again, we're into a pretty stretch of really great weather, but hope your week's going good. Ours is going pretty well, knock on wood. I know it's only Wednesday, but hey, I'll tell you one thing for sure. Daniel's on with me today as well, and he's on already with me. And Daniel, thanks for hopping on, by the way.
Yes.
This is going to be Daniel's last time on with me for a little bit. He's getting ready for his adventure over to Paris and Europe and Munich and
Stuttgart.
Oh my goodness, all these places that I really don't want my son to go to. No, I'm teasing. He's a big boy. He can go where he wants to go. And he's going to have a hell of a time. That's a cool part about it, man. It's going to be outstanding going over there. And I'm sure they're looking forward to it. And what'd you say was coming in today for your German trip?
Oh, my Lederhosen.
His Lederhosen, yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about that maybe too here in a minute. But yeah, so the man, he's all in on this. So we got a buddy that's getting married over there. Y'all have heard that part. We're not going to repeat that whole part, but he's got a friend, his best buddy's getting married over in Paris next week. So they're making a couple weeks out of it. Why not? Why not? So, but hey, glad to have Kyle back in the saddle again with us. He was out Monday and came home Tuesday afternoon. But Kyle went down to South Carolina with to play golf at a place called Tree Farm Golf Club. And yeah, Craig, no problem. Glad you're on with us, buddy. Hope that helped, Craig. So just give you our opinion and ideas on it. Craig said, "Thanks for the video response, Katie." So we she's in her headphones over there doing a little work. I'll tell her, Craig. So yeah, we appreciate that. Keep those coming in a profit circle. Love doing those video responses. They're so much more fun than just typing a response out to a question for somebody. Just saying. So yeah, keep those coming. And also, don't forget tomorrow night, September 11th, 7 p.m. We got our webinar. I know it's a little earlier than normal. That's why I keep saying it, but we're going to have a great discussion tomorrow night with Eric Jones is going to be our special guest, and he's going to talk about proper pruning for timing, tools, and techniques. So on shrubs. So I think it's something that a lot of guys expressed some interest in, and then thought he'd be a great guy to have on and talk about that. So looking forward to that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with Eric. And I would say maybe that the Turfette may be with him. I don't know, but
Awesome.
we'll see how it goes. So, uh, but anyways, hey, back to Hump Day, and we're into a lot of different things today at WLS. Be curious what you guys are doing today. I got a funny story I'm going to tell you about Mike. Mike sent me this morning, sent me a really good story, and we're going to talk about that. And it kind of fits into what we're talking about today on aeration. And I got a funny story also to talk to y'all about happened with us yesterday. Um, with with a seating client. So it's not funny, really, but well, that's kind of might as well laugh, can't cry, because if you cry, it don't do any good anyway. So a lot of things going on here. But today we're into doing a little mowing, making some lawn applications. We got the landscape lighting job that we're going to get in put in today. So looking forward to that and seeing that tonight, and then also doing some power seating and slit seating work. So, yeah, we got a full day at WLS today, and Daniel's rocking and rolling hard on it too today. So, trying to get a lot done before tomorrow's your last day, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, tomorrow's last day. He'll be this time Friday. He'll be flying,
Not yet.
won't you?
No.
I thought you was leaving around 10.
That's when we're getting like to the airport ish.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
got you. All right.
About 12:30.
Okay. All right. About 12:30. So, all right. Well, good. You working on your arms, getting your arms built up? That's a long flight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hoping we can take shifts.
Take shifts on who's flapping.
Yeah.
Fly like ducks, right? They say
Yeah.
ducks
Ducks
and
fly
geese.
together.
That's why they fly in that V, they say. And they rotate supposedly from back to front.
Was it create like a jet stream or whatever?
Yeah, it's kind of like drafting in NASCAR, evidently. I mean, I don't know. I'm not into NASCAR or ducks, but or geese, but that's what they say, man. I don't know if it's true or not, but appreciate you guys being with us here today, here on Profit Time as always. Aaron Walls got us going this morning. We had Eric Jones on, and then Daniel. Daniel, you were talking about something I made a note to ask you about,
Okay.
and it was says, you were talking about when you're actually eating it's not a good idea to be on your phone or watching TV because potentially you get hungry faster.
Yeah. So
What does that have
it's
to do
connected
with?
to the brain and like the memory or imprint, I think is actually what they called it in this research, to where if you are eating and you don't consciously like are in that moment of eating, then your brain doesn't like connect that you had just eaten in a sense. So there's not
Okay.
that same like mental connection. And then because your brain is part of releasing hormones and sending signals and all the things that make you hungry, then it doesn't have that memory of, oh, I just ate or whatever, so I don't need to send those.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really that's really interesting, man. So
Yeah.
I know that's COVID hit, the couch became the dinner table for mom and I.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, I don't know why that had anything at all to do with it, because it was just her and I. But I don't know, because we always ate at the table every night, all of us.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting. You really got me thinking about that. And I still do it,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, you can,
Tab and I eat on the couch and probably 90% of the time.
yeah. I
I
mean, heck,
mean,
you can still eat on the couch, just, be in the moment with your meal.
yeah,
Just turn the TV off. If you like just the coziness of the couch or the relaxedness of the couch, just turn the
you know,
TV off.
God sakes. All right. Well, I don't know. I'll run that power, see what she thinks about that. So I
I
don't
mean,
know.
here's the thing. If that's not like the end all be all of being healthy, right? So
Right.
like,
Oh yeah. No, I
if
know.
you're eating
I
a
just want to test it.
cheeseburger
I
from
want to test it.
McDonald's, being in the moment's not going to make that any healthier.
Right.
So
Right.
there's levels of what's most important.
I mean, that's just crazy, but it makes perfectly good sense. It's kind of like paying attention in school, and
Yeah.
you know
Sticks. Yep.
that. Yeah, we're not going to go down that road about eating in class because now they can eat in class, drink in class, order Jimmy John's in class,
Yeah.
and
Just
you know
just open up the window and the DoorDash will come through the
DoorDash
third
comes.
period.
you know. So Katie said it sounds like I'm going down the window or the rabbit
Rabbit
hole,
hole.
but
I mean, yeah, that was a
I
big
wonder if that's
deal.
got something to do with learning capacity. I mean, they're eating and drinking now. Would that affect learning capacity too, potentially?
I mean, I don't know if it's specifically.
Is there any studies on that, Katie?
I'm sure there's studies done on.
Yeah.
She said that you can't focus well if you're hungry, but
Huh.
yeah. But here's the thing, like there's 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 times of the day when you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner as well, or
Huh.
whatever.
I don't know. I'd like to see if there's any research on that both ways, not just in a classroom setting, but obviously at home there is if you're. Yeah, I don't know.
The thing
Anyways.
is, here's the real deal. When have you ever been so focused on what you're doing, but you're also just chilling eating a bag of Doritos, right? Like if you are truly working on something hard, and I'm not saying that you should be doing this for 8 hours of the day straight, but you're not snacking while you're truly focusing on something else, right?
Right.
Like that's the truth. If you are eating during class, you're not as focused as you could be.
No, no.
I mean, I don't.
Right. No, that's true. Uh, John's got a good point here. He says makes sense why bars have TVs on every wall.
There
You
you go.
drink more and you eat more while
There
you're
you
in there.
go.
True that. True that. So Mike said, Daniel, you gonna watch Harry Potter on the whole flight?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to sleep most of it. That's my plan. So I'm gonna be. It's about 14 hours of travel total, which includes like 2 hours a layover, or whatever. So once we leave, it'll be about 4. So I'm gonna try to sleep at about 5 or 6, and then sleep the rest of the way if I can,
So from your
till
connecting
maybe,
flight,
yeah. Some
okay.
so maybe get up like an hour or so before just so I'm not groggy and stuff. But that's my plan, is to mostly just, which still does, of course, leave, 2 or 3 hours of total, even just in that one flight. So yeah, I might
Yeah.
have to throw a little Harry Potter movie or something in there.
Something in there.
It's a
So
good opportunity to.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So be something good to watch. Good to watch for sure. So but anyways, hey, we crossed over into pumpkin and spice season. So I don't know how many of you guys like, that to drink and or eat or whatever, but I just thought I'd throw that throw that out there. I read something last night actually about it being. I didn't realize it started September 1st. So
I guess it's just,
the fall,
I guess,
the
yeah, the
untraditional.
unofficial start of fall,
Mm-hmm.
September.
So
I mean, the longer they can sell it, the more money they can make. So if they're going
Yeah,
to say it's pumpkin spice
it's
season,
pumpkin spice season. Yeah, kind of like us selling aeration and overseeding. You take advantage of the marketing trend that's going on, and the time of the year that you're in. So nothing wrong with that. We're not going to be mad at anybody over that for sure. But Mike sent me a good little story in here that I wanted to talk about. But we're going to take a short break first, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a situation Mike had with a client over some aeration and seeding because it is that time of the season. So hey, appreciate you. Stay right where you're at. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station. Oh my God, Craig, there's some more. We'll have to talk about that too. But Mike sent me a text this morning and he said that he met with a potential client for some aeration and seeding work on Monday. So he emailed the estimate to the guy and he said, this ain't funny, but we talked about just the other day, Daniel, about how people have no concern about what time they call you.
yeah,
So he called Mike today at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and 7 a.m. I mean, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but why in the world would you call somebody at 5 a.m. over an estimate? You know, I mean, I, I don't know. I just don't know. There's not a good answer out there. Just other than the fact of, I think that in itself lays the foundation of the type of client it's going to be, that it's him or nobody, kind of is what it tells me. I mean, that's what my experience tells me when you got a situation like that is this guy he's not thinking about anybody but himself. And, he wants to see what's going on. He wants you to give him a call or answer your daggone phone. But so Mike said he did call him back at 8, and he told him, he said, yeah, I emailed you the information. And the guy says, well, I don't do email. And I don't know why, like I told Mike, we were talking about it just briefly on a text. Daniel, why would the guy, when you said, hey, let me have your email address, I'll send it. Why didn't he just say, I don't do email?
yeah,
You know,
it's very strange.
rather than setting you up for failure and then going to call you at 5 in the morning, And Mike said, this guy's it's not like he's old and decrepit. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all, but, he's not that old of a guy, and he's in a really nice home. And that he's probably got to do some email, and why he's making it hard. I mean, I think Mike's right. Customers sometimes make it harder than it has to be. But, and then Mike also said that he, didn't want to do a service agreement for the work. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but, I'm a firm believer in service agreements being utilized for the services that we provide. I mean, it's a clear and concise method um, of how you're going to do what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't see why a guy says, he told Mike, he said, I'm old school, a handshake will work. Well, a handshake, I'm not saying they don't work. I'm just saying there's a lot of potential issues that can come up in a situation with a customer that, if it's not a clearly defined scope of work, that generally it's going to be you, the business owner, that loses. And that's just the reality of it. That is the hardcore reality of it. So I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I'll be curious, Mike, if you turn him around, you know. But for guys that I can honestly say, in all my years of utilizing service contracts, I don't think I've had more than one or two that said, "Hey, you know what? I'd use your service, but I'm not going to do this." Now that is an objection that we talked about scripts the other day here on the radio, and we also talked about it in the profit circle. But talking about scripts, but that's an easy objection to overcome. Let's just look at it from that standpoint, that it doesn't have to be. It's an objection sometimes because people don't know what they don't know about professionalism in our industry, and they're used to dealing with contractors in worn out trucks and trailers with three tires on them, and clothes that are falling off of them, and sleeves cut out, and unfortunately, that's the perception for some in the industry. But we all fight that perception. We can't change anybody's business but our own. That's the reality. But we fight the perception that is created by our industry as a whole. And I think that's something we all need to think about is, what can we do a little different and better to fight that perception that's out there with our business. So hopefully it works out. I mean, hopefully the guy decides and, hey man, Mike's a good guy and it makes sense. And, hey, because what I find in a lot of these people that are I'm trying to think of a good word for it. Um, yeah, I hear you, buddy. Um, I think these people that either have their own businesses or managers of businesses or whatever their capacity is in their working life, for those that are still working, you know, they utilize service agreements or contracts in a lot of the jobs they do, but they minimize the lawn and landscaping side as being, well, anybody can do it kind of thing. And I think that's something that, again, we can't change everybody's perception, but what we can do is change our own perception and put out a more professional image out there as to why we're doing what we're doing and know how to cover that objection when it comes up and not just succumb to, well, nobody else is doing it. I'm just going to do it like everybody else is doing it. So, Mike, I'm glad you stuck to your guns with that. It was very inconsiderate of him calling you at 5 a.m. in the morning and, or 6 or 7, you know. But again, it goes back to the type of person he probably is. Mike said, Daniel, that he's halfway hoping he just moves along, and I
Yeah.
can believe that. I mean, we have customers the same way here. We had a guy yesterday call Katie and change his mind twice during the day on what he wanted done. And there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. I don't want anybody to hear me say that because I mean it's that's what change order forms are for. But um, just the mindset sometimes. We'll leave it at that. We'll certainly leave it at that. Seth says he values his time more than Mike's. I agree. I would honest. Seth says I honestly revised the estimate and added on more of an inconvenience for calling multiple times. I hear you. You know, it's just not a good fit for it. And some that took me a long time to understand too, Seth, quite honestly. I was a slow learner on not everybody needs to be a customer. And you can't make everybody happy. I mean, yesterday we had a situation with a customer that um, was going to do some video of us doing our work to put on their YouTube channel, which we were okay with that. But so I don't know. Last week at some point, we went out and aerated his yard and he did some video. And yesterday, we went out and did some seeding for him, some power seeding for him, and we had a situation where he wanted to be a call ahead, so we called him Friday. Katie reached out to him Monday that we would be there, yesterday, and he wanted us there yesterday morning early if it was possible because he had another contractor coming around 10 o'clock. So we had all that arranged, and all of that was followed through with a call on Friday and a text on Monday that, hey, we'll see you first thing Monday morning. We get there, we knock on the guy's door, and he's like, what are y'all doing here? Nobody called me. I'm like, what do you mean nobody called you, man? We've called you, we text you. And he had a little bit of a valid point. Daniel said he, you know, had a valid point that a lot of people are used to contractors calling them now when they're on their way. He's like, well, I figured y'all'd give me a 15-minute heads up. How do you all deal with that? Let me ask you that. Everybody listening, Fred, John, all y'all, Mike, Seth, fill in the blank. I know we got a ton of guys listening. It'd be a great time to chime in if you're a new listener, you're an old listener or a new listener or whatever, and you just haven't chimed in. Let me give you my number, 502 550 8307. That's 502 550 8307. And do you all call ahead everybody? I mean, in an aeration or seeding or landscape situation? Or do you just do the ones that request it? Because I think it opens up another complete bag of worms. Now, I can understand why, like, a heating and air company would do it or a plumber would do it because they're coming specifically to your home. You've called them and they're expecting you on that day. Hey, they called you and said, hey, we'll be out there tomorrow to do your heating and air conditioning service or your air conditioning service or work on your air conditioning, whatever it is. I can understand it. But in our industry, you know, I just don't know that I want to get into the business of contacting every customer before we go that way. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what you guys got to say about it. John says they call the day before if they request it. And that's what we do, And we even have people say, hey, and also give me a call when you're on your way, and we'll do it. But the reality of it is, how did we know his mindset? Now, I can say this, it is our responsibility to understand our customer's mindset. I'll own that, because Heckapus said it best, man. And I think of this all the time, and this is one of those situations where he said the customer's perception is our reality. And that is very, very true. But on the other hand, I don't know. And, Mike brings up a good point. He says, in a perfect world, yes, we would call or text every customer 10 minutes before service. But that's not how it works. Emails are sent a day or two before service date for them. I'm not going to babysit every customer, LOL. So I don't know. What you think it's going to come to that, Daniel?
I mean, I don't know if it's going to come to it. I just think it's what contractors decide to do is what will become the norm. And
Yeah.
with more technology, really, it's become easier and easier to contact people. So now how you set that up is another animal. If you want to say, hey, we'll contact you 15 minutes or whenever we're on our way to your job, and then if your crew's out there running like a single ops like we're running, then they check off the job as being done, and the next one on the list is that job, and it auto sends a text. Then that's is what it is. But do you then give someone the ability to change it once they're on their way? That's what may be more tricky than anything. It's not the tech.
That's my fear of
I
it.
think what you have to lay down the law of as the business is saying, hey, we'll contact you, but it's kind of like having like a cancellation fee. Like you can cancel this reservation up to 24 hours before, but if you cancel within 24 hours, there's a $99 service fee.
Yeah. No, that could be it, because that's what I foresee happening is, well, hey, I'm not home yet. I'll be about 30 minutes. Can they wait?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then that throws your whole day off.
Yeah.
Or potentially it can, if you're doing that 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
for somebody, or worse than that, even as, well, can they just come back tomorrow?
Right.
That come back tomorrow thing is where it gets expensive in a service related industry.
Yeah.
And
I think when it comes to that, if you have this this in place, okay, well, sorry, we were on our way, you can't make it. We're going to bill you for that trip charge or whatever, scheduling fee. And no, we can't fit you in tomorrow unless you can. You have holes in your schedule, you can fit somebody in, but they don't get moved to book to push somebody else's scheduled time.
Yeah.
They go to the next available open slot.
Yeah. Kind of like, and you experienced that with your door.
Yeah.
You experienced that with the hassle of all the rain this year.
Mm-hmm.
With your door just going to, when they couldn't do it because of the weather, you just had to go the next slot, not the next time slot, but the next
Yeah.
available
Next
time slot.
available.
So, and I could see where that could get certainly problematic. Seth says, they'll do a call ahead for estimates and meetings, but they generally will do it before or after lunch, so, and, like that, that certainly is part of it. Let's see. Let's see what Steven's got here. He said, if you call and set an arrival time or date, why call on the way? Show up when you promise. And I think that could be part of it too. People are almost accustomed to people not showing up.
Yeah.
And now they just really want the assurance that you'll be there. That's a good point.
That, as well as some people, even though you're working outside, feel like they're waiting around for you if they want to be there or need to be there to show certain whatever. And it's kind of like when you're waiting around for, the internet people to set your thing up and they say it's going to be from 10 to 4. Like, you don't, I don't at least want to wait until they're on my doorstep, even if I have a little bit of a warning of, okay, at least I know now that they're on their way. Maybe that's some sort of relief to that side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't think you're not going to show up, but they just want to know, okay, this is when they're on their way now. I don't have to worry about it.
It takes that pressure off of, are they going to be here?
Or just when are they going to be here? Even it's not that I don't think Spectrum's going to show up and do my job, but I would like it. It makes me feel better knowing even 30 minutes ahead of time or whatever that they do. Okay, I know that they're on their way now. Don't have to think, is it going to be 10:30 a.m. or is it going to be 3:30 p.m.
p.m. No, you're right, and I just think it's something maybe that we as business owners in this industry start thinking about a little more, because I think as more people do it, more people will do it and expect it.
Yeah.
The consumers' expectations are going to be where they want it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because this is almost something that could be achieved better from like a smaller business perspective in a sense, like super small, even like you're doing it part time, maybe even, and you don't have a full schedule. You're not rushing around doing a bunch of stuff, maybe, and you can take the time to call XYZ customers because of that. And then maybe that's where the expectation is actually set, is by this, which, sometimes it's set in a negative way by the smaller guys, and sometimes it's just set by the smaller or, whatever size. But when you do implement this technology, whether it be, route management software or CRM or whatever, that really does make it a whole lot easier to allow automated things to take care of a lot of this.
And there's a lot of software out there that can make that happen easily. I mean, ours will do it. It's just, do you want to do it? It's just, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure honest to God, I foresee it becoming more and more popular.
Well, and even maybe it's not going on in your specific market. Maybe you're the one that starts it. Okay, hey, we're the guys that are always, keeping you up to date. Sell it as a bonus feature.
It is a bonus feature, kind of like, you're right, Daniel. That makes me think about, we kind of took that approach, but not of calling people, but of putting we show up, on all of our trucks.
Yeah.
But, because that is a big issue in a lot of the service industry, is actually showing up. Right. And that's why many years ago, and I don't know if any of you guys have heard me talk about this before, but from a marketing perspective, we've got a starburst on both sides of our truck that just says "We show up," and it's amazing. We get several calls a year off somebody saying, "I just saw your truck said you show up. That's why we called you." You know, and we put it on our advertising and our marketing, that we show up. So maybe this is the new version of we show up. I've not thought about, excuse me, I've not thought about it like that until right now. So I don't know. A lot of good info there. So we're not going to beat that horse too hard, but just something to think about. Uh, let's see. Mike said, I had a guy call me at 5 a.m. over a free estimate. LOL. I was at his house within 2 hours of his estimate request. It's pretty good service.
Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt. Uh,
pretty solid.
Mike's got a good question here. He says, the question is, dot, 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 will the customer value that service enough to pay the premium price? Probably not. I think
I
they're going
think
to,
that depends on a lot.
I think there's a whole, it's not a yes or a no. Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's like necessarily a premium. I don't think that, yes, it separates you, but I don't think it's something that necessarily increases your price or your cost, especially if you're already running a software that can do these things. It's just about implementing it.
But it should increase the value.
Right, but that doesn't necessarily mean an increase in cost.
No, no, that's true.
That the selling point is, hey, this is what we offer for this price, and this is an addition to what you're getting with this price.
Yeah.
That's what value, especially to a customer, is. It's what am I getting that I'm not necessarily paying for? It's
Yeah.
good response time on the phone. It's letting them calling you on their way there. It's XYZ thing that it's not like, oh well, here's a fee for giving you a call back. It's $3.99, or here's this. It's
True. Yeah.
that's
It's
what
not an itemized fee for calling somebody back, but there is, yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't necessarily run the cost up, but
it's
it
what you can do for somebody at the same price, maybe, or potentially your cost is going to maybe be more if you're listening to Profit Time. What you can offer, or reason, quote, reason why in the customer's mind your price is higher.
right, right. And then it becomes the value side.
Yeah. At
The
that point, you have to make sure you're selling it to the right people.
yeah, you're creating the perceived value, and until they actually see something, it is all perception. And so that's why we need to call back. We need to follow up, and then maybe we've went down this road pretty good, and we're going to take a tour off of it here in a second. But um, maybe that's where it's going. I like the lights that get turned on when we start talking about this stuff with everybody here on my show. Just getting everybody's opinion on it, because the reality of it is it can potentially. It could, to Mike's point here, he said he wants to clarify, if it causes delayed schedules, I'll be there in 10 minutes,
Oh yeah, at that level, you have to make sure you're setting it up
or can you come back tomorrow?
procedurally. Yeah,
Then it causes inefficiencies.
right. But
So that's to your point.
that's where you set it up within your business to say, okay, well, here's a $99 fee because you didn't cancel within X amount of time,
Yeah.
and here's when you're going back in our schedule. It's not going to be at a inconvenience to other clients.
Right.
We can't,
We're not putting everybody off.
sell it as you're inconveniencing us. You sell it as, well, we can't do that to XYZ customer,
Yeah.
that also has this work to be done.
Yep, I agree 100% on that. So that's cool. Craig sent me another completely different issue that he's experienced. Let's see. Let's see. Hang on before we get to Craig. One more thing with Seth. Seth said, if somebody's calling me at 5 a.m., it better be a big paying job. Or no, realistically, don't call me at 5 a.m. So I keep my phone on silent
Yeah.
at night personally. And I mean, we got an office number that's not my cell phone number. We've had this discussion before. That was one of the biggest things that set me free, Daniel, and then we're gonna move along. When I removed my cell phone from that being the point of contact with my customers to the point of contact being our office number. And still people will ask, hey, well, you got a cell number? I said, no, the best way to get a hold of me is our office number.
Yeah.
There's somebody answers the phone all the time,
Yeah.
you know, and that you talk about setting you free. You want to be set free, and you don't have to have an office phone number to do that. What'd you say the name of that was, Katie? Google something where you can set up a number within your phone, a different number. She got her headphones going,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I can't
there's a
think of what
million
it's
ways
called.
to do it.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Just
other
Google how
ways
to do
of
it.
doing that. Yeah. Yeah. Daniel's famous words, Google it. And he's taught me to Google a lot of different shit. I can tell you that. I do Google it. Yeah. A lot of times I'll Google it. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Steven says, this might not be popular opinion, but I applaud Mike for handling his early call or text with professionalism. However, I believe we need to separate business time and personal time. Life's too short to be concerned with business 24 hours a day. So there you go. I hear you. I agree. Put the cell phone on silent at certain hours in evening and turn it back on in the morning. Because we talked about this, Daniel. I mean, the expectations of the client, they'll understand that, hey, you got business hours,
Right.
but they won't understand that until you have business hours. So absolutely. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station. Well, I tell you what, I'm glad to see aeration and seeding season has been cranked up. Got several done yesterday and a few before that. And then today we're into it. And the rest of the week we're going to be rocking and rolling on seeding as well as aeration, running a couple different crews there, get us an aeration broadcast seeding going crew out there. And as far as in the power seeding, the ones that are taking care of the renovated lawns. And looking forward to seeing our lighting job tonight that we're installing today. Katie's going to go out there and do a little recon on that and get a few pictures of that here in a little while. But yeah, it's a good season. It's that time of the year for us, and we're looking forward to what we get. When I say what we get is, what the season brings us as far as aeration and overseeding this year. Power seeding is up over last year. We talked about that a little bit the other day. So far, and we still got a few more weeks of calls, I'm sure, coming in of work that we'll put on. So looking forward to that, and be sure to listen to King Darren Gruner coming up after me. He's going to be talking about seating as well. So we're going to have a great day here on Turfs Up Radio. I'm getting ready to bail off here. Here shortly on my show. I'm going to meet a concrete contractor. Oh Lordy, I'm looking forward to that though. Yeah, looking forward to that. Trying to engage with a excellent subcontractor here for concrete force here at the WLS as we um, trying to just satisfy our customers more and more all the time, right? Oh Lord, it's always something. It's always something. But hey, Daniel, got a couple minutes left. Let's talk a little bit about your trip here, since we won't have you on. Now, Daniel will be on. Daniel's going to have some of the best of the best.
Not live, but
Not live, but
recorded shows.
rolling for you guys. So yeah, but your trip, man.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. We're gonna see a lot of stuff.
Drink a few beers
Maybe, yeah. We'll see.
or wine. God, if you're going to Paris, you going to try wine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Get some wine, get a lot of pastries and bread and cheese
do you all hear that?
and
He's been saving up for calories for.
but a lot of that, a lot of new foods. Never probably had before, so that's
What
gonna
would
be
tell them
fun.
about that one you were telling me about
Uh,
the goose liver or duck
yeah, it's
liver?
uh
Um, that
foie,
was sounded pretty interesting. So
foie gras, foie gras. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's just a big thing over there, and supposedly it's pretty good. You know, if you're into that kind of thing, I know a lot of people wouldn't eat liver or whatever, so that's kind of probably off the table for some people. Then you got escargot, got some snails. So
yeah.
some people, once again, probably not going to try them, but I'm, pretty adventurous from the food perspective, so I'm gonna give those a shot.
Craig said you breaking all your healthy eating rules when you go.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think we're going to be hitting too many protein goals over there. A lot of carbs.
Is it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean with breads and pastries and what else? We got wine. I mean that's just alcohol, but yeah, not too much protein. I mean, we might have a couple nights of some steak or something, but other than that, maybe a little bit of duck.
So's the red meat thing just not in their diet a whole lot over there?
I don't think it's that per se. I just think it's different options as well.
Yeah.
Like it's that plus other things. So I think maybe we are and also there's a difference between like traditional French and what maybe people that are like my age that eat over there, right?
Okay.
So it's probably like a lot more Americanized stuff too that you could find, but as a whole, I think Paris is like the number one city in the world for food. So
Good deal. Well,
that's
Seth,
going to be fun, and then just all the buildings and architecture, the old stuff from you know hundreds of years ago, and even longer than
that I
that,
know that's
1,000 years
crazy.
ago,
Just
1,500
what
years
you're going
ago.
to see and how much like I just thought of this right now, like how much of the World War II stuff
Yeah, I
that
mean Germany occupied Paris, so
yeah,
there was a lot of it was a big thing. We're going to the museum, the Army Museum there, so we're gonna look at a lot of the not relics, but basically relics. The stuff from
yes,
different eras throughout and war over there, including World War II. A lot of cathedrals and stuff like that to
that'll be
see.
neat. Yeah, the
Really old.
that whole cathedral thing. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
A lot of stuff in a very compact amount of time.
You're
Just
gonna be on the
about
go, aren't you?
Paris and in and
Yeah.
of itself. So yeah, we got a full hour by hour itinerary.
You going to Normandy? Somebody asked.
No,
American.
only because just the time factor for one, and then also even when we did have a little bit of
You
time
know,
to
would have
spare,
been cool if you could have went to Omaha Beach.
you can go there.
I know you,
Oh yeah, yeah,
just because
yeah.
your grandfather was there. You
I
know,
wanted to go, but it was kind of one of
that would have
those
been
things
really
that
cool.
it was like kind of not an inconvenience, but it like really was jamming the day together very
Yeah,
much. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get over there and be like, let's just go do it and
yeah.
forget these other plans.
Well,
But
no, you got too much time and effort into that. But Seth said safe travels to the world famous vitamin D.
thank you, thank
So,
you.
so what are you looking forward to most? And we'll wrap it up.
I think
I
getting
know it's hard to pick when you got
into
a pull it trip like that, but
I don't think there's a particular thing like to see or eat or do. I think it's just being there and like taking it in kind of,
yeah,
just walking around a little bit, even between places and looking around at the architecture. Trying not to be too much of a like a nuisance or an inconvenience
yeah,
as a tourist and stuff, but that kind of thing is really what I'm looking most forward to. Expect, just even in like the other small country village we're going to in France and then in Germany and Munich, that kind of the same thing of just being there and appreciating and like all the things that have happened in that area.
good deal.
So
Well, there's your Aunt Sherry
all the
coming in to
history.
see us. So, all
Sending
right.
out we'll be sending a lot of pictures out. We're gonna send some postcards and stuff back too. So
Woohoo. Well, we look forward to getting it. Look forward to getting it, buddy. And with that being said, we're going to wrap it up today and stay tuned. In less than a minute, we got King Darren, Landscape Hero, for you. So, Daniel, we're going to miss you, but hey, have a heck of a lot of fun, man. That's the reality
very
of it.
good.
And uh, other than that, Mike wants to know if the candy tastes better over there. So you're gonna have to eat some regular candy too.
I'll
I
try.
wonder if they got like M&Ms and
Oh
shit like
yeah,
that.
for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well,
And
cool. Hey, all right. Hey, it's been a great day. Appreciate y'all's time. Love each and every one of y'all for real, man, for listening here on Turfs Up Radio. Appreciate it. Listen all day long. And remember, profit is not a dirty word. We'll see you Friday.